Modern CPU platforms are complex, mechanically dense pieces of hardware that dictate your entire build's layout and long-term stability. But when you actually go to buy one, you hit an immediate wall of choice paralysis. Every major brand splits their lineup into dozens of confusing subtiers: Prime, ROG, Mag, Aorus, making it nearly impossible to know what you actually need. Builders often assume that spending $600 on a flagship motherboard results in higher clock speeds than using a $150 entry-level board. This chart shows the gaming frame rates produced by the exact same CPU plugged into 3 distinctly priced motherboard tiers. Notice the flat line across the top. In 2026, identical processors yield less than 1% variance in gaming performance, regardless of what the board costs. You are looking at a $450 price jump from budget to flagship for virtually 0 extra frames per second. Chasing speed through a motherboard upgrade is mathematically flawed. So if you aren't paying for speed, what are you actually buying? The differences come down to 3 concrete things: BIOS usability, sustained thermal infrastructure, and physical connectivity. A motherboard is strictly a physical foundation, not a performance multiplier. Overspending here actively starves your budget for the actual frame-generating components like your GPU. Let's look at ASUS. Their ecosystem spans everywhere from standard gaming with the TUF series straight up to extreme enthusiast setups under the ROG banner. Stepping up into those premium tiers doesn't give you raw power. What it actually buys you is access to the industry's most refined BIOS and memory tooling tools. This environment strips away the friction. Tasks like undervolting your CPU or tweaking fan curves become exceptionally safe and straightforward, even for first-time builders. The trade-off is what we can call the ASUS tax. They charge a steep premium for this software polish, pushing their high-end boards firmly into luxury pricing territory. That pricing creates extreme expectations. When early generation voltage issues pop up, like we saw during the initial AM5 launches, the community backlash is severe because buyers paying flagship prices expect flawless reliability. Paying that premium only makes sense if you actually intend to dig into advanced BIOS tweaking. If you're just going to boot up and play, that money is misallocated. MSI takes a different approach, finding massive success right in the middle of the pack with their Mag and Tomahawk mid-range lines. To understand their main advantage, you need to know about memory training. This is the critical boot process where the motherboard and CPU calculate stable timings for your RAM. MSI's physical infrastructure accelerates this previously agonizing boot sequence, forcing that complex data into perfectly syncing rhythms for high-end setups. These mid-range MSI boards provide the hardware overhead necessary to handle the power draw of flagship Ryzen 9 and Core i9 CPUs, proving they can sustain top-tier loads without thermal throttling. But MSI hits those competitive price points by making aggressive compromises. You will often see them heavily strip away rear USB connectivity on lower-end models and reuse very repetitive visual designs across generations. Because they prioritize a reliable boot process and consistent voltage delivery over a high rear port count, these boards offer a more predictable foundation than most budget-focused alternatives. In workflows like 3D rendering or massive video compilations, the stress on your components is continuous rather than bursty. This heat map shows how Gigabyte tackles those sustained loads. Notice how they utilize physically oversized VRM heatsinks on their mid-range boards, efficiently pulling thermal energy outward. When a CPU is drawing over 200 watts for hours at a time, this brute force thermal mass keeps temperatures in check and prevents system throttling entirely. The catch with Gigabyte has historically been their software. Their BIOS ecosystem generally lacks the deep refinement you get from their major competitors. While utilities like Gigabyte Control Center have seen updates, they still present reliability hiccups that can genuinely frustrate users trying to troubleshoot an issue or tune their fans. Choosing Gigabyte means explicitly trading software polish for industrial-grade cooling hardware. It is the ideal workhorse choice for professionals who need their system to render all night without breaking a sweat. Then value challengers, ASRock and Maxon. These brands survive by offering specific features that the major players flat out refuse to include at lower price tiers. ASRock is willing to experiment. They will regularly force 3 high-speed M.2 storage slots onto a compact micro ATX board, giving builders massive storage density on a budget. Maxon pushes things even further with their iCraft series, which pairs unapologetic, coordinated anime aesthetics with shockingly premium physical features. These budget boards include things like clear CMOS buttons and integrated smart panels that display real-time system telemetry directly on the PCB. The hidden cost of this extreme hardware value is the support structure. You are dealing with weaker international RMA networks, less frequent BIOS updates, and spotty documentation. Selecting these disruptor brands secures you premium hardware at a deep discount, but it shifts the burden of long-term troubleshooting entirely onto your own shoulders. For the extreme showcase builder, we have to look at Sapphire's unexpected entry into the motherboard space with their Nitro line. They are attempting a major architectural shift with Phantom Link, a system designed to reroute GPU power directly through the board to eliminate visible cables. By moving power delivery entirely inside the PCB architecture, the system completely bypasses external wire routes and visual clutter. This provides the ultimate clean aesthetic, solving a major visual friction point for high-end showcase builders who hate managing bulky power cables. The massive caveat here is long-term stability. Tying your bill to this proprietary standard relies on a brand new motherboard ecosystem that lacks the proven track record for decades-long platform support. Achieving true aesthetic innovation right now requires abandoning the safety nets and guaranteed compatibility built up by the legacy manufacturers. Because raw performance is equal across the board, brand loyalty is a trap. You have to align your purchase strictly with your specific daily friction points. Let's look at this central evaluation tree. It splits into 3 distinct paths based on your primary use case: the mainstream gamer, the creator, and the niche builder. For the mainstream gamer, stop overspending on marketing hype. Your focus should be entirely on raw stability. Buying a solid mid-range board guarantees flawless frame rates without wasting your budget on extreme overclocking tools you will never boot into. If you are a creator or workstation professional, you must prioritize data transfer speeds and sustained VRM thermals over flashy RGB styling. This path secures necessary Thunderbolt connections and rock-solid rendering endurance, easily justifying a higher baseline cost for practical utility. Finally, the niche showcase builder. You value a completely unique visual identity over traditional brand safety nets. Taking this path secures maximum visual cohesion with hidden connectors and telemetry screens, provided you accept the inherent risks of troubleshooting a newer software ecosystem yourself. The perfect motherboard doesn't make your PC faster. It simply ensures the hardware never gets in your way. The ultimate rule of modern PC building is this: buy only the physical infrastructure your specific workflow demands, and ruthlessly divert every remaining dollar into the components that actually generate your performance.